I believe I've got experience and I know what people are going through.
Scott Milne has spent 3 decades leading Milne Travel, a family-owned travel management company whose network of clients and employees expands across the nation. He says he's seen firsthand the devastating economic impacts of the pandemic.
I'm in the travel and tourism business, which is the largest employer of people on the planet, a vital part of Vermont's economy, and that's been decimated by COVID.
With his eyes set on economic recovery, Milne says if elected, he'll enact what's called Progress VT.
We've got a plan, Progress VT. I would argue I'm the only person in this race with the plan. 60 ideas that I think are going to make Vermont a better place.
These ideas include
eliminating pensions on Social Security, military retirements, making childcare more affordable simply by borrowing some ideas from New Hampshire that I think are good ideas, expanding rural broadband with some simple ideas.
In 2014, Milne lost the race for governor, coming within 2,500 votes of becoming the first candidate to defeat an incumbent Vermont governor since 1962. But right now, Milne is focused on the final days of his campaign.
If you're a person or a business or an organization like state government and you're not changing, you're by definition falling behind. We need to be a state with progress.
I asked Milne the same question I asked Molly Gray. A vote for Milne is a vote for, and he said,
a reliable and trusted partner for Governor Scott, and somebody who will be able to on day one, hit the ground running with a comprehensive understanding of our economy, how government and private business works together, and what we need to do to get our economy back on track.
Jolie Sherman, Local 22 News, Newport.
Gray spent 3 years working across the globe for the Red Cross and returned home to attend Vermont Law School.
I've worked across our state. I know the value of our rural communities. I know what it's like to work in a small business. But I also know what it's like to serve statewide, to work with our congressional delegation.
Business owner Scott Milne is hoping the third time is a charm in a major Vermont election. In 2014, Milne was just 2,000 votes shy of unseating Governor Peter Shumlin. 2 years later, he was trounced by longtime incumbent Senator Patrick Leahy. He says losing those races makes him a stronger candidate now.
I think Scott Milne's going to be lieutenant governor, but I've been wrong before.
Milne grew his family's travel agency from a small business to a company with 9 locations throughout New England and New York. He believes it's the type of experience needed for the LG's office.
I think a business voice is underrepresented in Montpelier.
I didn't inherit a family business, if that's what he's talking about. I grew up on a farm. I know what it's like to run a business.
If elected, Gray plans to focus on Vermont's demographic challenges by attracting young people by increasing access to broadband, expanding childcare, and investing in the state college system. She wants to use federal money in part to help pay for those goals and plans to work with the congressional delegation to secure funding.
We're not going to tax hard-working Vermonters.
Milne doesn't buy that and says his proposals, including streamlining state government, revitalizing rural Vermont, and growing the workforce, will pay for themselves.
They're all achievable, affordable things that will make Vermont a better place.
A contentious topic between the candidates is each other's voting record.
With early voting well underway, the leading candidates are now trying to reach undecided voters or people who are waiting until Election Day to vote. Here's Jack Thurston.
She's an assistant attorney general, a first-time candidate. He's the president of a travel company that bears his name and came close to becoming governor in 2014. Democrat Molly Gray versus Republican Scott Milne for lieutenant governor has been Vermont's match to watch this year.
The focus of this campaign has always been putting people before politics.
I think it's going to be very, very close. So if you're supporting Scott Milne, please try to get out and vote.
The lieutenant governor presides over the Vermont Senate, breaking tie votes, which are rare. They're also next in line should the governor not be able to serve, which is how Lieutenant Governor Howard Dean stepped into the state's top job when Governor Dick Snelling died in 1991. The $78,000 a year position doesn't have a ton of policy power, but does offer a statewide platform to advocate for key issues. So we asked Gray, volunteering Wednesday to pick apples for food-insecure Vermonters, and Milne, working at the business hit hard by the pandemic, what they'd champion.
We're coming into the biggest economic catastrophe America's seen in 75 years. I represent a skill set that's a little underrepresented in Montpelier in good times, and especially underrepresented with what we've got coming up. So I'm focused on jobs and the economy, and once we get that working, there's all kinds of other great things to work on, but I think it's going to take a couple of years to just help our economy get back and help families get back to where they're feeling secure.
And the reason I got into this race was because of our demographics challenges. 36-year-olds and 40-year-olds today are still paying student loan debt, are trying to save to buy a home in Vermont.